Imagine this. You're standing in a packed casino, a roulette wheel spins, the ball bounces, clatters, and lands on. The crowd cheers. Next spin, black again. Third spin, black. By the 10th spin, the room is electric. People are whispering, red is due, it to be red. So they bet big. Red doesn't hit, they bet bigger. Still black, they double down. Black again. And by the end of the night, this isn't a story from a movie. This actually happened in Monte Carlo in 1913, and it's one of the most famous examples of the belief that past results somehow influence future outcomes. Today, we're going to break down how this single psychological trap has bankrupted gamblers, manipulated investors, and shaped human history. And more importantly, we're going to see how it might still be messing with decisions, even if you've never set foot in a casino. Let's go back over 100 years. August 18th, 1913. The Casino de Monte Carlo is buzzing. The roulette tables are packed with aristocrats, tourists, and wealthy gamblers. The game begins. The wheel spins. The ball lands on black. Again, black. Again, black. At first, nobody thinks much of it. Streaks happen, but after 10 blacks in a row, the whispers start. By 15 in a row, gamblers are convinced. People start betting massive sums. Some pull out their life savings. Others borrow money on the spot. Everyone piles onto red. But the wheel doesn't care. Spin after spin, black keeps hitting. By the 20th spin, chaos erupts. Men are shouting, women are fainting, fortunes are vanishing, and finally, after an unbelievable, the wheel lands on red. But by then, it's too late. Millions of francs are gone. Families are ruined. That night became a legend. The world learned just how dangerous a single false belief can be. The gambler's fallacy is the belief that if something happens more frequently than normal in the past, it's less likely to happen in the future. In other words, if a coin lands on heads 10 times in a row, people think tails is due. But here's the truth. Every flip is independent. The coin doesn't remember the past. The roulette wheel has no memory. The dice don't know what you rolled last time. Each spin, flip, or roll is fresh. The odds reset every time. The tragedy of Monte Carlo wasn't that the gamblers were unlucky, it's that they believed a lie. Here's the real question. Why do smart, educated people fall for this? Why did millionaires in Monte Carlo risk everything on red? It comes down to how our brains evolved. Humans are pattern-seeking machines. Our ancestors survived by noticing patterns. When birds fly south, winter is coming. When clouds turn black, a storm is near. So when we see black hit 20 times in a row, our brains scream, but randomness doesn't follow patterns. It feels wrong to our instincts, but mathematically, it's true. That disconnect between intuition and math is what makes the gambler's fallacy so deadly. Now you might be thinking, okay, but I don't gamble. Why should I care? Here's why. The gambler's fallacy isn't just about casinos. It shows up everywhere in life. People avoid numbers that were just drawn, thinking they won't appear again soon. But every draw is independent. Fans say a basketball player is due for a shot after missing 10 in a row, but each shot is its own event. Traders think a stock that's been falling must bounce back. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it just keeps falling. Ever heard someone say, "I've had so much bad luck in dating, I'm due for something good"? That's the same fallacy. We're constantly fooled into thinking the universe is keeping score, but randomness has no memory. Here's where it gets dangerous. Imagine you're at a slot machine. You lose 5 times in a row. You think, you double your bet. You lose again, you triple your bet. Still nothing. This is called a direct result of the gambler's fallacy. Instead of walking away, you dig deeper, convinced you're close to winning. But the more you chase, the deeper the hole gets. It's why casinos are billion-dollar empires and gamblers end up broke. Monte Carlo isn't the only story. In 1989, a roulette wheel in Las Vegas hit red 22 times in a row. Hundreds of thousands were lost in a single night by people who thought black was overdue. In 2008, many investors refused to sell because they believed markets had to recover soon. Some lost everything, waiting for a bounce that never came in time. In 2021, people poured money into coins that had already collapsed, saying it's due for a rebound. Many of those coins never came back. Different game, same psychology. Casinos don't need to cheat. They just need to let your brain do the work. Every table, every slot machine, every dice roll is designed around the fact that people believe in streaks. Casinos know that if black hits 10 times in a row, people will bet huge on red. They know that if you've been losing for hours, you'll throw in one more big bet because you're due. They don't rig the game, they rig your brain. Here's the math truth most people don't want to hear. If you flip a coin 10 times and get 10 heads, the chance of tails on the next flip is stilling. If you roll a die and get 6 5 times in a row, the chance of another 6 is still small. It doesn't matter how long the streak. Randomness has no memory. The odds don't care. This feels deeply unnatural because we expect balance. We think the universe is fair, but randomness doesn't play fair. It just plays. So how do you avoid falling for the gambler's fallacy? 1. Understand that independence means past outcomes don't affect future ones. 2. Never chase losses. Walk away when you hit your limit. 3. Notice when you're saying, "I'm due." That's your brain whispering lies. 4. Risk makes sense in life when odds tilt in your favor over time, like education, skills, or business. Not in games designed for you to lose. At its core, the gambler's fallacy isn't just about casinos. It's about how humans struggle with probability. We crave patterns where none exist. We expect the universe to balance itself out. But reality doesn't work that way. Some people lose over and over. Some people win streaks they don't deserve. Life isn't fair, and the sooner we accept that, the smarter we get with our choices. So let's go back to that roulette table in Monte Carlo. 20 blacks in a row, people screaming that red is due. What would you do? The truth is, the smartest move is the most boring one. Recognize that the wheel has no memory, that the odds never change, that chasing a due result is a trap. Because in the end, the gambler's fallacy isn't just a casino trick, it's a mirror showing us how easily our instincts can betray us. The next time you think, remember, the universe doesn't owe you anything. The only real bet is whether you'll believe the lie or walk away.